Please rise for the salute to the flag and remain standing for a moment of silence in memory of Peter P.J. Punzel, Planning Board member and retired Township DPW employee, and Eileen Hayes, retired Township DPW secretary. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to all council members on April 1st, 2016, and to all legal newspapers in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law, 1975.
The public is hereby advised that any statements made during the meeting of the Township Council of the Township of Saddlebrook may not be privileged or protected, and that persons or entities who take issue with such comments or are offended by same may and have in the past sought legal redress through the courts. Any member of the public who addresses the council speaks for themselves and not for the council.
Okay, right now I think Mayor has some presentations.
Good evening. I have a proclamation recognizing April as Autism Awareness Month. It saddens me that we have too many of our residents that suffer from some form of autism spectrum disorder. And also in New Jersey, we happen to have one of the highest autism prevalence rates in the country. But with that said, I'm comforted by the fact that we do have so many of our residents that help to ensure that those with autism in this community are helped and they are provided with social and physical activities, and basically they can lead a better and fuller life because of those individuals. We are grateful and must recognize them, those caregivers, whether it's a mother, father, family member, friend, educator, or whomever, for their dedication and their commitment. I urge all residents to become more familiar with how they can help support these individuals and families that are affected by autism. So I'm going to read the proclamation now. Proclamation, Office of the Mayor, in recognition of Autism Awareness Month. Whereas globally, since 2008, Autism Awareness Day is April the 2nd and is observed throughout this month. The day often features educational events for healthcare workers, teachers, parents, and children with autism. And whereas studies performed by the Center of Disease Control and Prevention have indicated that New Jersey has among the highest autism prevalence rates in the country. And whereas more healthcare professionals are becoming proficient in diagnosing autism, and the rates both nationally and locally are on the rise. And whereas a variety of public and private organizations and agencies strive to provide quality care, support, and services to children and adults with autism to help enable them to live as independently as possible and reach their full potential. Now, therefore, on this day, 2nd day of April 2016, I, Robert D. White, Mayor of the Township of Saddlebrook, do hereby proclaim April 2nd World Autism Awareness Day and April Autism Awareness Month in Saddlebrook. I urge all residents to become educated and informed about programs, services, and opportunities to help support individuals with autism. And signed and sealed before me on the 2nd day of April 2016. Thank you.
Presentation.
Yes, at this time, Chief Kugler, is going to do a presentation. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. At this time, we have Vince Montagna and Ed Ebel from, I'm sorry, I don't know the organization, but I know it has to do with the Marines. They'll explain further, but they have some presentations that they'd like to provide.
If I may, before we give out the presentation certificates, I'd like to just give you a brief history of the Marine Corps League Saddle River Detachment. Saddle River Detachment started 10 years ago in Saddle River. It was formed and chartered there, and it remained there for several years. I think around 4 or 5 years ago, they were looking for a new home, and they found it in Rochelle Park at the American Legion. They had a very nice room, and the Saddle River Detachment decided to go there. Also, I'd like to just say that Ed Ebel here is our Junior Vice Commandant. I presently hold the office of Chaplain, and recently we decided to change our name from the Saddle River Detachment to the Lance Corporal Jed Barker Detachment. Now, Jed Barker, I'll just give you a little brief history on him. Jed Barker is a Medal of Honor recipient. He's a Lance Corporal, was a Lance Corporal in the Marine Corps, and he was in Vietnam War, and he gave up his life by absorbing a full blast of a grenade. In a final feat of selfless valor, Barker tended to the wounds of a fellow Marine as he succumbed to his own, and he passed away there. So the detachment felt that this would be an honor for us to recognize Jed Barker as and name our detachment after him. Now, one of our members in the detachment knew the wife of Jed Barker, got permission from her, and the paperwork is in. I believe it should be in another few months, the name will be changed. So it makes it a little easier for the detachment moving from town to town, that you don't have to worry about changing your name. You carry this name of a Medal of Honor winner, and also looking for new members. They don't feel like, well, I don't want to join the Saddle River Detachment because I come from Saddle Brook. I don't want to travel to Saddle River. So it makes it a lot easier that way. So at this time, I'm going to ask Ed if he would read the certificate. They're all the same except for the names, of course.
We may want to explain to everyone that this is for Toys and Tots collection.
Yes.
For everyone. We've got 3 different certificates. I'll read one, and it will distribute accordingly. One important thing about the Medal of Honor winner, he happens to be from Park Ridge.
Right.
So that's why we picked him. He's a very local guy. He happened to be in our area, so we selected him since he was from our area, okay? Okay, so the Saddle River Detachment of the Marine Corps League takes great pride in presenting this certificate of appreciation to Florence Mazer, Saddlebrook Police Department, and the Saddlebrook Senior Center for your organization's efforts for generously taking part in the 2015 Toys for Tots campaign. Your devotion and dedication to the spirit of the season greatly assisted in our annual efforts to brighten the lives of children who are less fortunate. Your group's kindness is a testimony to your character and is worthy of our deepest gratitude and highest respect. Signed, Detachment Commandant Carlos Poole. Okay.
Okay. Want to come up and receive your certificates? Florence Mazer? Councilwoman?
Thank you very much.
This is, of course, your efforts through your school.
Okay.
Very many toys. Thank you very much.
Can we get a nice photo over here from you guys? Tighten it up.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Okay, good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ed and Vince from the Marine Corps League for that presentation. And at this time, Chief Kugler, are you ready? Chief Kugler is also the chairman of the 300th Anniversary Committee, and at this time, he would like to give a presentation and an update on the events calendar and where we are and some of the events that we have already been done. So, without further ado, Chief Kugler.
Thank you, Mayor. Township Council members, Council President Joe Camilleri, members of the Town Council, our professional staff, and all of you seated here tonight and out in the audience in the Saddlebrook community. It is my distinct honor to represent the Saddlebrook 300th Anniversary Committee. I want to commend Mayor Robert White for beginning this effort. We started this effort back in 2015. We basically met with a bunch of Saddlebrook residents committed to the mission of acknowledging 300 years strong of the community of Saddlebrook. If you look at the logo of Saddlebrook, you'll see the date 1716, and that's when our community was established. Back then, we were known as an area called New Barbados. It basically bordered Ridgewood from the north, Lodi to the south, the Saddle River to the east, and the Passaic River to the west. A large area, and as the various regions seceded from that organization of New Barbados, it became smaller and smaller. But in 1716, the township of Saddle River, or Saddle River Township, was established, and that is our history. So from 1716 till 2016, obviously, 300 years of our community. Saddlebrook Township, or Saddle River Township, is the oldest, one of the oldest communities in Bergen County. And we, although gonna go back 300 years and look up all the various things that may have happened back there, we do have some historical notes, and I want to at this time acknowledge our dear departed Jack Wasdyke, our Saddlebrook historian. Everybody knows Jack Wasdyke, a man who was committed not only as a human being in decency, but a human being dedicated to preserving the history of the town of Saddlebrook. He wrote a book, as many of you should be aware of, and his legacy continues with our 300th anniversary. Although I am the chairman and I have co-chairs here, Lou Verilli's here in the audience, been with us every part of the way, Florence Mazer, Joe Camilleri, all of the members of the 300th Anniversary Celebration Committee have been committed to doing what's right for this year to protect and to honor our township. And again, I want to commend Mayor Robert White for having the foresight to say, let's even do this. But we have started already a lot of things. And as you know, on March 19th, we had our initial event. It was a kickoff pancake breakfast. And that was the day before the March 20th date. That would be the 300th years. 300 years landing on March 20th was Palm Sunday. So we preempted that and did an event on March 19th. It was such a successful event. I am so honored and happy to be part of that. Over 200 people crammed into the Dynasty Buffet, and I would be remiss if I didn't thank our good friends over there at the Dynasty Buffet, each and every one of them, especially the owners, Jesse and Andy, for allowing us to come there, and for a little fee of $5 entry fee. We had to understand who was coming. We had to have a head count, but for $5, you got such a wonderful breakfast, including meats and eggs and potatoes, steak sandwich, and then we also gave you a commemorative coffee mug and a commemorative Saddlebrook bag. So for $5, I think everybody got a good deal. But even before that, at the March meeting, as you know, and this is our April Township meeting, in the March meeting, John Hogan, the Bergen County Clerk, came, and at the Senior Center, it was so well attended, it had to be at the Senior Center, maybe up to 100 people or more were there, to hear John present to us in our township historical facts and figures and artifacts, some of them hanging on the walls of this council chamber, and giving us a rich history of why Saddlebrook is one of the oldest communities in Bergen County. Just last Saturday, And I'm going to bring my good friend and a good member of our 300th Anniversary Celebration Committee forward to talk about it, but we had a celebration, a tricentennial remembrance at the First Reformed Church, one of the oldest churches in our area, and obviously here in Saddlebrook. But Tommy Van Winkle, would you come up here and explain about that event?
All right. Thank you, Chief. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Thomas Van Winkle. I am actually the administrator for the Facebook page for the Tricentennial, facebook.com/Saddlebrook300. And I also chaired a committee that was made of myself as a chair and members of the First Reformed Church to put together this wonderful dedication service. And actually, there are several people I would like to thank for making this service possible. As I said, my planning committee, we had Joanne Brendel. She was also the photographer for this event. The pictures are on the Township's Facebook page. Marty Ferrulo, who was also a member of the Tricentennial Committee. John Plog, Ellen Plog, and Pastor Christopher B. Wolf of the First Reformed Church. And also, I would like to thank En La Cosa for filming the service and getting it up on YouTube, and the TV station. That's on Channel 38 on Verizon Fios, 77 on Cablevision. Also, I want to thank several people for their support: the First Reformed Church congregation, the Saddlebrook Township Council, and our Tricentennial Committee for all their support, and also some officers from the Tricentennial Committee. Our wonderful chairman, Chief Robert Kugler, Florence Mazer, and Lou Varilli are both here tonight. They were the co-chairs of this committee. Also, for the program printing, I brought a copy of the program with me. This was printed by Full Service Mailers Incorporated in Hackensack at no cost to the church or the town. And we had a sound technician, Kevin Kustra, and also we had several donations. For the donations of balloons, that was done by Kimbridge Cartiques at 449 Market Street. Also, our flowers were donated by Terry's Florists at 151 Market Street. And also for setup and cleanup, I'd like to thank the Saddlebrook Mayor's Youth Group for coming out and helping out with ushering, setting up, cleaning up, a lot of work. So that was it. And also, I want to say that we had 90 people in attendance at the service, and that was including our choir. We had a special choir made up of the First Reformed Church and St. Philip's Church, and I really want to thank them so much. And the music director was Susan Red Vanley, and we had another director, Francesca Kubion, from the St. Philip's Church. So I really want to thank them for that. And also, we showed a slideshow on the church's history from the beginning in 1900 all the way to now. That's on the church's YouTube channel at youtube.com/FirstReformedSB1900. And as I said before, the full service is on the Saddlebrook Township's YouTube channel. And it was a very special day, and it was awesome. And also we acknowledged the late Jack Wozniak, a very beautiful moment. So check it out on YouTube. I thank everybody who came out, who helped, volunteered, and made it all possible. I enjoyed it all. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. I want to commend you, Thomas. You're doing an outstanding job with our Facebook page. And I want to remind everybody that it's important to go to that page and review what we do and what we ask for. And I'll be talking about some of those things right now. But the next activity to come up is going to be the banner program. This is if you travel along the main street of Market Street, Saddle River Road, Midland Avenue, you'll see on the utility poles these blue banners. They're going to be coming down in the next 4 weeks or so, and they're going to be put up with new banners. Patriotic red, white, and blue, which has the township logo and a patriotic theme, red, white, and blue, acknowledging our 300 years. And I'm very happy to announce that that program has been very successful. We have nearly 100 people and businesses of our community that sponsored one of these banners, and I'm going to be very, very proud to put them up along our township roadways for people to drive by each and every day to see who has sponsored and wants to be an integral part of this celebration of our 300 years. I want to commend Mayor Robert White, council members, Flo Mazer, and others that have contributed to that program as well as our local businesses. But again, within the next 30 days or so, you're going to see these banners put up. It's a great program because not only are you going to get your advertisement there, you're going to see how proud you are to represent yourselves or your businesses for the township celebration. But at the end of the year, in November, December, when we take them down before the harsh winter comes in, we're going to present it to each and every individual business to place in your home or your businesses for you to see for future. May, but yet to be determined the date, we're going to have a pizza party social. The success of the pancake breakfast leads us to maybe doing some type of pizza party social where it's going to have obviously pizza, but refreshments and maybe some type of band or activity like that. And we're going to try and keep that cost down between maybe $5 or $10, no more than $10. And you're going to get pizza, refreshment, dessert, and a nice band and entertainment. But the most important part is becoming one community and being together and socializing and celebrating the 300 years of our township. As you know, Memorial Day Parade is not our event, but the Saddlebrook 300th Anniversary Committee is going to have a float, and we're going to march in that parade. We're going to be very, very happy to march alongside our veterans, acknowledging their service, and at the same time recognizing that 300 years and our people that want to march and be a part of the group are with us and serving, and also acknowledging our veterans. As you know, the township always, or every year, has a fireworks demonstration. This year it's on July 3rd, and once again, the Saddlebrook 300 Anniversary Committee will be there as well, performing and doing things that needs to be done to make that event more enjoyable. On August 27th, this is a great gala picnic that we plan to have down to Bergen County Park. As you are probably aware, the township always, and most of the time throughout the years, had an annual picnic. It has been placed on sabbatical for the past few years, but the Saddlebrook 300th Anniversary Committee wanted to relive it and have a great program, to have a concert, to have a gathering, and to really bring hundreds, maybe thousands of people from Saddlebrook down to that county park and celebrate not only a great summer day, but also our 300th anniversary. So please keep your eye on a date on that, August 27th. Some other things we're developing, and that is very, very interesting to see come to fruition, is a historical photo journal. And what we are asking for is that if you have any photos of the town of Saddlebrook, landmarks, old pictures, pictures from the area, whether they be 100 years old or somehow depicting the historical perspective of Saddlebrook, please get them to our committee through the Facebook page, through the Township Hall, see the mayor's office, come to the police department, provide it to the police department for us to copy, scan, give it right back to you. But we're going to make these photos and whatever you give us part of this, hopefully 200-page plus black and white color, whatever it is. We're going to be putting it in there. It's going to be a commemorative book, really with all photos depicting the township landmarks and great sites that our community offers. This is a very interesting program. Through the work of the Township Council and Florence Meza and Mayor White, we have hopefully the prospect of developing what's known as a tricentennial park. Tricentennial Park, basically a tract of land of Saddlebrook. I think we earmarked along Saddle River Road in the area of between Platt and Franklin, that little area that's being utilized by our construction company right now. We want to have a tricentennial park there located. We want to have a paver program where we're going to put all pavers in there, and you're going to get an opportunity to have your names or loved ones' names inscribed on these pavers, and also dedicate a monument there. So that's a great goal that hopefully will come to fruition with the assistance, and I want to acknowledge Florence Meza for having the initiative to push that along with us. But once again, I think I said enough at this point. Please stay tuned, stay with us. Saddlebrook 300 Facebook page. Stay on top of the township website and really be a part of a great celebration. And again, on behalf of all the members of the Saddlebrook 300 Celebration Committee and all the residents of Saddlebrook that we so proudly unite and be with, I want to thank each and every one of you for your listening to my thoughts tonight. I want to thank Mayor White and the whole town council for allowing me the opportunity to be part of such a great event. Mayor White, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Chief.
Okay, up next is our introduction to our 2016 municipal budget.
First step is to introduce ordinance 1608-16. It's an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriations limit and to establish a cap bank. This is something that the township has done for the last number of years.
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Roll call.
Councilman Samaluka? Yes. Councilwoman Mazur?
Yes.
Councilwoman DiArminio?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Council President Camilleri?
Yes.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Saddlebrook that an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriations limit and to establish a cap bank heretofore passed on first reading be further considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on May 5th, 2016 at 7:00 p.m., where soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the municipal building, 93 Market Street, and that at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance according to law, with the notice of its introduction and passage on first reading and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Samaluka? Councilwoman Mazur? Councilwoman DiArminio?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Council President Camilleri?
Yes.
Next is the resolution providing for increase in reserve for uncollected taxes percentage. I don't know, Steve, maybe to briefly go over it.
This resolution has to do with, because of all the tax appeals last year, our percentage of collection would have been less than it normally would. This resolution allows us to increase the percentage utilized in the budget in order to calculate the reserve for uncollected taxes for 2016. We did a similar resolution last year based on the same set of circumstances.
Motion.
Roll call.
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazur?
Yes.
Councilwoman DiArminio?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Council President Camilleri?
Yes.
Next resolution is the actual introduction of the budget. Be it resolved that the following statements of revenue and appropriations shall constitute the municipal budget for the calendar year 2016, and be it further resolved that said budget will be published in the record in the issue of April 14, 2016.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazur? Councilwoman DiArminio?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Council President Camilleri?
Yes.
The budget's been introduced.
Entertain a motion to open to the public.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazur? Councilwoman DiArminio?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Council President Camilleri?
Yes, the meeting is now open to the public. Anyone wishing to speak can please come forward to the podium, state your name and address.
Hi, Nancy Murray, Pine Avenue. I understand, and I missed speaking at the work session on Tuesday, that you're considering vacating Rosemont, and I know someone also spoke about that too. We've seen the plans on the zoning board, and I think it's a very good idea for you to do. It's going to be beneficial to the town to give up that property and let the businesses have that for parking. But I think it's also going to increase the quality of life for the people at that end of Claremont, because you're going to stop any kind of cut-through traffic that happens to be going through from any of those businesses, and I think that really would help the residents there. It was very well received at the board. All of us had questions, but we understood the positives outweigh any kind of, I couldn't see a negative, okay? I couldn't see a negative, and the town doesn't have to maintain it anymore. So it really is a win-win. So if you're finalizing your thinking on it, I don't live in that area, and for 28 years I didn't know the street even existed. that I've been in town. So I say that you let it go. It's a really good opportunity. So I'm echoing the comments from your Tuesday night work session. It really is a good opportunity for the town and something that's going to help the people that live in that area.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Anyone else wishing to speak? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to close.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazer? Councilwoman DeArminio?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Council President Camilleri?
Yes. Okay, now we're gonna move on to mayor and council comments. Mayor, you're up.
Thank you. Thank you, Council President. I just want to start off in talking about the budget. The loss of revenue due to commercial tax appeals is having a huge impact on this 2016 budget. In fact, it's the cause for the entire increase. And I just wanted to say that many of the appeals that we're dealing with go back as far as 2011 and 2012. We have a grant application that was approved. New Jersey Department of Transportation, it's a municipal aid program, $155,000 we received for paving Caldwell Avenue. I'd like to thank Tom Lemanowitz, our engineer. He was the one that applied for the grant, and I think last year we did not get it, but this year we did, so thank you for that, Tom. Councilwoman Karen Darminio and I attended a community development fund allocation meeting on Monday, April the 4th, this past Monday. The committee awarded us, our township, a total of $122,000. $97,000 was for drainage in the 6th district, which is by the high school area, and also another $24,500 for our senior citizen, our senior center clerk was also received. So it's a total of $122,000, and that's about $35,000 more than we got last year. I want to thank Business Administrator Pete Ladico. He's the one that files that grant application, and also Councilwoman Karen Darminio, who really pushed at that meeting to get that funding, the additional funding. Also, the two-sided digital sign was ordered for Town Hall. It should be here in about 3 or 4 weeks. We do need, once we receive it, we do need a frame and a base designed and installed to hold up the sign. It's actually 2 signs that are side by side, or either together or apart. We're not sure how we're going to do that yet, but the sign company has subcontractors that do that kind of work, but it's going to be at an additional cost, depending on how elaborate we want to get, if we want to do masonry or just the plain metal fabrication. Regarding grants, Business Administrator Peter Ladico and I met with our grant writer on March 31st. We're continuing to pursue many grants. We recently, this past week, received an application for Safe Roads, or Safe Routes to Schools program. Our engineer, Tom, is going to work with the grant writer on writing that, and hopefully we can get some funds secured in that area. Events and projects, the 300th anniversary, the chief spoke about most of those that I was going to say, the pancake breakfast, First Reformed Church. I just want to thank, reiterate what he said, thank the committee members, especially him, Chief Kugler, the chairman, co-chairs Flo Mazer, Councilwoman Flo Mazer, and Lou Varelli, who's in the audience. Also, a special thanks to Thomas Van Winkle for organizing and putting together the service at First Reformed, and for putting together the video slideshow, which was excellent. And as he said, it is on the Township website, the Township Facebook, YouTube as well. The Easter celebration on March 19th, it was very well organized again this year and well attended. We had lots of fun there. I want to thank Projects and Activities Committee, led by Councilwoman Karen Darminio. Also, co-chairwoman Shannon Accomando did a great job. The Mayor's Youth Group, the Women's Club of Saddlebrook for their help. Also, Walmart for their generous donation of candy. Okay, the 300th anniversary service and the Easter celebration, as Thomas had said, they were both videotaped and can be seen on the town website, Facebook, and our town cable TV station. Okay, moving along, we have a monthly senior newsletter which was released last week. This was created using free advertisement sales. We have a company that did that for us at no cost to the township. Basically, it features, the newsletter features senior and township events and photos, medical news and articles, a recycling calendar, calendar of senior events and town events, crossword puzzle, and recipe. And that, that will be a monthly newsletter that comes out. And it gets distributed. We get it, we put it at the senior center and different businesses that will allow us to put it at their location. We also have, I spoke about this a couple of months ago, the town newsletter. Basically, it's my annual report. It's just about complete. I anticipate it probably will be mailed sometime by the end of the month to all homes. Upcoming events, we have the shredding event on Saturday, April the 16th, from 9 to 1, Ed's Tavern parking lot. The same day, we have the Little League Parade. Starts at 11 a.m. at Fairlawn Parkway in Shepherd's, and then we walk to Nedlick Field. We have a Golden Key and Exempt ID card program. This is done in cooperation with the Bergen County Clerk John Hogan, which is going to be on Tuesday, April the 16th, 10 a.m. to 12 noon at the Senior Center. It's a senior discount card and firefighter and veteran exempt card, which entitles those card holders with special entitlements and privileges. On the legal side, our COA obligation, our township attorney, Anthony Suarez, will bring this up. We have an order to extend our temporary immunity until July 31st. Also, on Tuesday, at our work session, we had members from the Bergen County Housing and Development here. They were requesting an extension of the ground lease. I am in favor of that until the end of the year, December 31st. They are now going to try to secure a conventional mortgage for the housing project on Caldwell Avenue. Ms. Murray mentioned vacating Rosemont Avenue. I, too, am in favor of that. Town engineer has been doing some research on that. I, too, am in agreement. I do feel that it should be done, but I also feel that it shouldn't be done unless Rosemont, or it's closed off, so there's no access from Market Street onto Claremont Avenue. I'm also in favor of, I believe we have on the agenda tonight, stop signs, removing many of them from President Street. We had a discussion on Tuesday's work session with Chief Kugler about that. I have a note here from Chief Kugler, wanted me to say that Saturday, April 30th, is Operation Take Back Prescription Drugs at the Saddlebrook Police Department lobby from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Also, the police department has been awaiting approval for a permanent drop box to be located in the police department lobby for 24/7 disposal. We have been recently approved by the DEA and New Jersey Attorney General's office. This is because the past years of success, our residents bringing in old and unneeded prescriptions to be properly disposed of. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilman Accomando?
Tough act to follow.
Yeah.
Everything I was going to say, he said.
Sorry.
But I did want to thank everyone that showed up for the Easter egg party. It was a great turnout. It seems every time we have a function, every function after that is just better attended and well volunteered. And I just want to thank the people that volunteered for it, the Women's Club, students from elementary, middle school, and high school. You pretty much said everything was safe, but other than that, thank you. Oh yeah, Little League parade is this weekend, 16th, and I believe the Women's Club is having the 14th, their dinner at the Venetian, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Todd. Councilwoman Diarmenia?
I'd like to take a minute to acknowledge my friend Peter J. Punzo, PJ. PJ and I work together as co-chair of community projects and activities under the past 5 administrations. He was one of my dearest friends and part of my family. He served on the zoning board, the planning board. He volunteered at the senior center and was a former employee of the DPW. Easter was his favorite holiday. He loved our community. He loved animals. He was loyal, selfless, kind, generous, and thoughtful. He will be really greatly missed. I'd like to thank Shannon Accamundo, co-chair of Community Projects and Activities, for running the Easter egg hunt, the Women's Club of Saddlebrook for their work in the kitchen, and also helping with the games, the mayor's youth group for stuffing all the eggs, and the good bunny we had at the Easter egg hunt. Walmart of Saddlebrook for sponsoring the event. Adam Calderon and Charlie Cerrone Jr. of the DPW for their help in making this event so successful. To the janitor at the high school, who was so accommodating from start to finish. Finally, to the mayor and to the council, who without none of you would this be possible. Thank you for your unwavering support. As the mayor said, we received the money from the community development. Also, Thomas, you did a wonderful job. Loved the dedication service at your church. Thank you. And just finally, as president of the Saddlebrook chapter of AARP, I'd like to invite all of those 50 and over to come and join. We meet once a month at the Senior Center on a Monday. This past Monday, we had a show, which was A Touch of Sinatra, The Life and Legend. It was wonderful. We had a great time. You don't have to join if you just want to stop in as a guest. In May, actually May 2nd, we're having a Mother's Day program and box lunch. Really, you're not too old, because I'm not that old, so think about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. We'll just keep going around the room. So I keep it short and sweet. I would just like to put the emphasis on the Autism Awareness Month. The mayor gave a wonderful presentation. Thank you. I wanted to acknowledge Vince Montagna and Ed Ebel for their presentation. And I want to also acknowledge Chief Kugler and Thomas Van Winkle for their presentation. And as soon as the weather gets real cooperative, I want everyone out there to enjoy spring. Thank you.
It's tough when you're fifth in line because they've all said it all. But I would like to reiterate, Thomas, what a beautiful ceremony at the First Reformed Church and also St. Philip's Choir. It was beautiful, beautiful. I was happy to be there. And I also would like to acknowledge PJ and his family, a longtime friend and neighbor. Our prayers to him and his family. And also to Eileen Hayes. For those of you who didn't have the opportunity of working with her, knowing with her, she was a character. She was had a great personality and a sense of humor. If you ever called DPW, if you ever did, you'd understand what I'm talking about when she was the secretary there. Prayers and to her family also. That's it.
Thank you, Flo.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Andrew?
Well, if it's tough being fifth in line, being sixth in line is pretty damn tough. But again, obviously with Autism Awareness Month, we have the symbol here for autism, and pray for all those parents and children, what they're going through, and hopefully at some point we will be able to, if not find a cure, find a reason for it and try and assist them as much as we can. I'll talk in the old and new business about the Access for All Committee later on, of which I'm happy to chair, and we did have our second organizational meeting last night, so there is some stuff to talk about. Karen, I want to thank her for doing the Easter egg or chairing that event, and I know she did it with a heavy heart because PJ had passed away shortly before that, and I know that PJ for years had brought animals for people who've been in town for a while. He had a menagerie at his house, but he would always bring, there was always chickens and rabbits and goats and all kinds of things that he would show up with. It was amazing how he would show up with that. And condolences to his family and also the family of Eileen, who's a longtime DPW secretary, and Flo was right. She didn't have much of a filter, so you knew exactly where you stood with her. And she was a very, very nice lady. The services that we've talked about, it was a very, very nice presentation, and congratulations and thank you to everybody. Every time I go and to that particular church, and we have some, or they have some services, Pastor Wolf does a great job, and he's got a great congregation, and the choir was just awesome. The combination of the St. Philip Choir and the First Reformed Choir, they did a great job. Trying to think. I think I have some stuff to talk about, but I think it's more appropriate in the new business and old business. So that's it in terms of comments.
Thank you, Andrew. Moving on to our ordinances.
First reading is ordinance 1607-16. It's slightly revised from our attorney. We created a new section because it is a lease agreement with the DOT, and if something should change, we can just eliminate the section. So it's an ordinance amending Chapter 196, entitled Vehicles and Traffic, and the section is Schedules for first reading.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeArminio?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Council President Camilleri?
Yes.
Be resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Saddlebrook that an ordinance amending Chapter 196 entitled Vehicles and Traffic Schedules heretofore passed on first reading be further considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on May 5th, 2016 at 7:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the Municipal Building, 93 Market Street, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance according to law, with the notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of a time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeArminio?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Council President Camilleri?
Yes. Resolutions.
Consent. All items listed with an asterisk are considered routine and non-controversial by the Township Council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a council member or members so request it, in which case the item or items will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. The one motion signifies adoption of all resolutions, receive and file letters, correspondence reports, and approval of minutes and applications. Resolution number 10, payment of bills will be voted on separately.
Ms. Lodico, could you pull Resolution 11, Resolution 13, and application number 10 from the consent agenda?
11, 13,
And application 10.
and application. So removed from the consent agenda in addition to Resolution 10 will be Resolution 11, Resolution 13, and Application 10. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazer? Councilwoman DeArminio?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Council President Camilleri?
Yes.
We have Resolution number 10, payment of bills.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Samaluka?
Which, wait,
Ten.
number, I just wanted to, that's Resolution 10. I just wanted to read it, actually, if we could.
Bills. This is bills.
Oh, 10? What did I say, 11? Okay. Yeah, abstain.
Councilwoman Mazer? Councilwoman DeArminio?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
And Council President Camilleri?
Yes.
And Resolution number 11,
Yeah, Resolution number 11, I just want to read it. It's not that long, actually. It's a resolution, Sheriff Sordino is being honored by Hackensack chapter of Unico on, not this Sunday, but next Sunday. A number of us are attending. Originally, the resolution said, it was introduced by me. I don't want to take credit for it because I think everybody here jointly feels that Mike has done a very good job, and you know, there's been some words in the paper regarding politics, and has nothing to do with his abilities as a sheriff. So I felt that to take my name off that, because it's really a joint resolution, I just wanted to read it, and we will be presenting this to him jointly at that meeting, whoever does attend from the council. It says, whereas Michael Sordino has served as sheriff of Bergen County since 2011, and whereas Sheriff Sordino began his law enforcement career in his hometown of Emerson, where he served 42 years, beginning as a patrolman, culminating as chief of police, and in 2010 served as president of the Bergen County Police Chiefs Association. And whereas Sheriff Sordino is a 20-year member of the Emerson Fire Department and task force member of the Bergen County Arson Task Force, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Township Council of the Township of Saddlebrook that Sheriff Michael Sordino is hereby commended for his recognition by the Hackensack chapter of Unico as Man of the Year, faithfully following the Unico motto, service above self, and giving back to his community, and we join in congratulating Sheriff Sordino on this well-deserved tribute. And I will make a motion to approve.
Roll call.
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeArminio?
Yes.
Councilman Alcomondo?
Yes.
Council President Camilleri?
Yes.
And resolution number 13 is to extend the ground lease through December 31st, 2016 for Coldwell Avenue.
We did have Mr. Bialy, I forget the lady's name. Who?
Lynn. I don't
Lynn?
remember her last
She's the director of the Housing Authority. And who else was anyone else here?
Holly Shapiro.
Oh, then Assemblywoman Shapizi was also here, because I think she's the actual attorney for the Housing Development Corporation. And we are voting on this. I think it will pass. We are voting on extending this lease. It's been, obviously, and listen, we kind of gave it to them the other night, and we've been doing that, saying, when is this thing going to come to fruition? Because we, as a council on the street, you can't believe how many people, when is this thing going to come through? People want this. So we have given them till December 31st. They have changed their method of financing. They're not going through the state. They are going to self-fund and get funding through their own abilities. And based on that, they do believe that this will be a reality. So hopefully, we don't know when shovel is going to be in ground. We're crossing our fingers that it's before the end of the year. It would be nice. Sooner is always better than later when it comes to something like that that's going to help seniors. And Assemblywoman Shapizi was here, and she lives in Rivervale. She serves, I think it's Rivervale General Counsel. So it was a perfect opportunity to ask her, because there have been questions. Is this going to be limited to Saddlebrook residents? No, it's not. But I asked her, because they have one in Rivervale, and I just asked her, what's your experience with that? And I believe she said about 80% of the occupancy was either Rivervale residents or parents of Rivervale residents that moved from another town to be closer to their children and grandchildren. So obviously, as close to 100 as possible is the best. I don't expect that. That's not really reality, but I do expect that there's going to be a vast, vast majority of the people that are going to be living there directly across from the senior center, 1 block from the bus that can take them any place in the world. Most of them are going to be, again, either current Saddlebrook residents or the parents or close relatives of Saddlebrook residents. So I am firmly in support of this resolution and hope that the end product is what we expect it to be. That's good for the residents of Saddlebrook. I will vote, I will move to introduce.
I have one comment to add to that, Andrew, if I may. One of the things for this is also the lending institutions asked for a longer lease agreement through the town. So I think the only way they're gonna secure the funds for this is if we give them that, and personally, I'm gonna be for that as well.
Can I make a comment
Sure.
too? Even though we did extend the lease, we are asking for provisions so that they continue to keep us, notified on a monthly basis that what is going on. So, keep us in a loop on, so we know. Thank you.
Okay,
Motion?
Second.
roll call?
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Maisin?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeArminio?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Council President Camilleri?
Yes.
And we have application number 10.
Application number 10, it was the transfer, was the application for a new business on Midland Avenue, which formerly was Focaccios, and I have represented the owner of Focaccios on a number of occasions. I wasn't involved directly in the transfer, but I feel it's the best interest that I will abstain on that due to my relationship with the prior owner.
Make a motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Samaluka?
Abstain.
Councilwoman Maisin?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeArminio?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Council President Camilleri?
Yes. Anyone with old business up for discussion now? Old business, new business? Todd?
No.
Karen?
Pretty much
Mayor?
covered it.
No,
Yeah. I would just like, it's old, new business from my standpoint, and Tom, I'd just like to know, did we get the drawings finished for veterans, or how's that for the bathrooms or the snack stand?
As we talked about the other night, the architect is essentially not, well, he's about 75%. He's about 75%, so now that's when the structural guy comes in, working with the mechanical guy. We start, now that we have a layout, we have all the equipment we know we have to measure for, so that's the next phase, and we're now working together to get the whole thing finished.
Okay. Could we have like a time frame on when that may be done? Not to hold you to the day, but 1 week, 2 weeks?
I would like to be presenting the plans to the councils for discussion for the next meeting.
The next meeting?
The pretty much wrapped up plans.
Okay.
Because we've talked a lot about it, we've talked about, economical surfaces and such. We went through the equipment list. From what we're seeing, we're pretty much where we need to be money-wise. We're not doing anything fancy with floors and, walls and such, trying to be very conscious of the budget.
Okay, thank you.
Through the chair, when do you anticipate us going to bid?
The mechanical people just started looking at this thing. I want to talk to them. I was not able to get in touch with them today.
Can we push this like to before the next meeting so that we could meet even in a special meeting? Because we're looking at May.
We could do that. Like I said, I'll have enough together within the next week or two that we'll have the mechanicals pretty much straightened out, the heat, the air conditioning, electricity, all that'll be all together, so I'll have a better number for you. We could do something, in the middle there.
Hopefully, because this way, at least by May, we could be out to bid, I would hope.
Right.
Because then June, it's how many weeks for bid? 2?
Yeah, 2 or 3. We'd like to give a little
So
bit
we're
something.
middle May, June. We're not talking about being able to do anything until July, the earliest, hopefully.
But like I said, when I get, I'll be able to, I'll submit something as soon as I get the information from the mechanical and the structural, because I already have the architect. And I'll put something out within the next week or so about scheduling, and then maybe if you want to sit down, we can do that also.
Yeah, great. We'll have a special meeting.
Yes.
Terrific. Thank you.
And also, Council President, I was able to look at Rosemont and do a couple sketches if you want me to go over those.
Yes, please.
What I did, I was able to get the plans from the Board of Adjustment application, and this is an aerial off of Google. It's close as I could get with the time I had. It's pretty close to scale. What I did was, the black line you'll see is the right-of-way. The green is some new landscaping that we could put in as part of this. Here's the ordinance also. Essentially, you need about 60 feet in width for a parking bay. The right-of-way is only 50 feet, but there is some room in it outside the right-of-way. As you can see, there's the one black line is a little off to one building. This is an aerial photograph. I scaled it the best I could for what I had. The only way to really firmly design something is with a survey of the other side. I obviously have the survey for the liquor store. I don't have for the other one, and try to line something up. The idea there was to put the parking in, create that green buffer area, which would shield the houses on Claremont a little bit more from what's going on in the street. How we go up on Claremont and then go east, that corner is a little in question because, you know, the road's kind of strange there. You've got a guide rail. You could see where the curb's supposed to be because you can even see the change in color of the pavement. If we come around with that radius, leave that tree to maybe curb and put parallel parking along the road side of that guide rail. Again, there's still obviously some details we have to work through. But from what I see there, we can do something to straighten it out, get some decent organized parking in there. And I spoke to the board chair earlier before the meeting. He said he'd be willing, if the council desires, for me to sit down with the applicant and the board chair and kind of go over some ideas and how we can work together to make this work efficiently. We'd obviously need the property, to the east also involved with this, because there would be a common access easement where the right-of-way is, where those two properties, it would essentially act as one big property. And, you know, so you need cross easements and such. The town should also be granted a utility easement in case we have anything running through there, water, sewer, whatever, so we need to get back in there. But that's all just details. You know, I think at this stage, a meeting with the property owners, just to kind of throw this out there, see where they are, and try to work something out would be the next step. As far as Central goes, I did not have as good information on that. Central is at an angle. It's a little harder to guess, which is essentially what we did here. And the other issue there is Central is only a 40-foot right-of-way, where this is a 50-foot right-of-way. So we don't have as much room. If we, as part of the application that's before the board now, if they ask for a 5-foot dedication, so now from the center line to their property is 25. If anything ever happens on the other side, we do the same thing. We get 5 on both sides. Now we've got a 50-foot right-of-way. We can do something. We have a little more room to move in there. But the Central one was a little more difficult. I'm going to need some better plans before I really do something like this for that.
Any questions? Mayor, council?
Through the chair, the crosshatched area on the photo, what?
That's the potential for new landscaping, because as you can see, there's a single-family house.
Yes.
That's driveway is out onto Rosemont now. So what I was suggesting is to just continue that driveway, curve it around onto Claremont, and just green up the rest of it. And again, that'll help give you a visual shield from more houses on Claremont, so you have to look at that loading area of that building.
So it just confuses and/or concerns me. Are we building a driveway for a resident?
That driveway would have to be extended
And
as part of the project as a whole.
Who's maintaining that driveway? I mean, would that be part of his
That
house?
property would be vacated, would be dedicated back to that. Basically, when you vacate a road, you split it down the center and go to either side.
Yep.
Up there, we may have to do something a little bit different, but again, that's part of the conversation we have to have with all the property owners on how the property is going to be divvied up.
So the crosshatch,
The crosshatch
I
area-
remain confused in that the crosshatch area, is that going to be Saddlebrook property? Is that going to be
They will.
divided between the two, and then the third house that comes into play on the south end of Rosemont?
At this point, it's up in the air, because the driveway needs to be where it is, and we can't keep the driveway on the single-family house's half of the right-of-way it's going to get. So then we have to ask that the property to the east allow the town to give that lot all the green area, rather than just its half, which you can do. I mean, you're not required. If you offer, if you vacate a road and you offer to the property owner the other side, if the property owner says, no, I don't want it, I think there's ways we can do that, I would think.
Have we spoken to
No,
property
this
owners
is,
on
again,
this?
I was out there Wednesday morning after the meeting, you know, we kind of put this together as a starting point.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
I just have a question regarding, I thought we agreed to put a curb line on Market.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay.
That's, I'm sure the county would get, that's, obviously the county would get involved in that, but yeah, the idea is to continue the curb. If there is ever a sidewalk there, that would go across, it would look like a driveway. It wouldn't look like a road. It would be just like you have in front of any of the properties along Market. I was just trying to show how the parking might lay out with the extra greenery and such.
Okay.
And again, if the council desires, I can continue with communicating with the property owner and work with, try to keep this rolling and see if we have any common interest in getting this done.
Anything else? I would like to turn it over to the attorney for the stop signs.
Oh, we go through all this?
Well, yeah, we flew through all of them now, we combined.
You didn't stop at me.
Were you snoring?
I'm on the flight back.
Were you snoring?
You missed your turn.
Council President, if I could, I have a meeting that I've been asked to cover for someone who's on vacation. So unless you have anything else for me.
Do we have any questions for our engineer? You in the audience, we could open it up? No? Okay, thank you.
Okay,
No.
thank you.
We'll come back, Andrew, please.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so with regard to those stop signs that
Yes.
we discussed when the chief came
Yes,
to the work
please.
session? Okay, so in that regard, and I talked to the administrator about this too, what we would have to do is, I think that you have a couple of, I guess, competing ideas here. I mean, do we want to eliminate them for those streets that he had mentioned?
Yeah, I
or-
think we were all in agreement with that, yes.
We are?
Yes, and then, we also took into consideration what the fire department presented too, so I think it
Right.
was at Third Street as well.
Okay.
To eliminate all those stop signs,
Well-
except the one.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think with regard to Third Street, the decision was really for the fire department to come back to us and advise us as to what to do, whether putting, basically a box there with the no parking
Right.
area or striping. And I think we're going to get their opinion, advice before we decided on anything to do with Third Street. And I think with regard to the other end from Fifth all the way to the highway was, the chief's advice was to keep the one on Eighth, I believe,
Right.
and eliminate the ones on Sixth, Seventh, and Ninth, I think.
And I believe at the end, through the chair, if I may, we were gonna remove the Third Street.
Yes,
I
because the
believe
fire
the fire
department came
chief
forward
said
and
that it was
conferred.
best to,
Right.
right. And then we were talking about painting the box on the street.
Yes, absolutely.
But I don't recall whether or not, I think that they were going to look at it and come back with their advice. I think,
The fire department?
I think so,
I
yeah.
thought they came back.
Yeah, here, I mean, if we just want to ask him a simple question.
Right?
What was the outcome with that, chief?
To
Right,
remove.
that's
Okay.
what I thought it was, yes.
No problem.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'll have something for you at the
Okay.
next meeting.
We can introduce by title tonight if the council wishes.
Do
So
that.
we'd save
I mean,
a
do you
month
think
if
you're at
the
a point now
council
then?
wishes to move on it.
Do we have any other concerns or?
I don't know if the engineer's gonna, I mean,
Do we want to keep the one on Eighth if we're moving the one on Third?
Just to slow that traffic down, I think, the chief said it would help slow that traffic down. I'm kind of in agreement with him, you know, just to stop them at that point, they would have to stop.
Okay.
So I'm kind of,
No, slow down before
Yeah.
it came off the highway on the other side, yeah.
I think you have from First down to Fifth, I think there's less of a, like, kind of a, keeping on the flight theme, a runway going in that direction for people to speed up. I think what it is, it's a lot of, from Fifth, trying to make hay and try and get to that, to 46, and people coming off 46 at a very high rate of speed. So at 8th Street, that would stop it. So I think that the idea was to keep the one stop sign there, and that should at least help. Even though we've been told that stop signs are really not meant for speed, but I think that, I think it is appropriate in this situation. If it doesn't help, we always have the backup of the speed tables that we've talked about. But we're going to try just to remove the other stop signs and see how that goes. And obviously, if there's anyone in that area that finds that this is a horrific idea and it's not working, just like we've done, that we're going to do, we do not object to changing our minds on things and making it work.
So do we do a motion?
We need an ordinance, proceed with the ordinance.
yeah, I just reviewed my notes. I had removing 6th, 7th, 9th, and 3rd.
6th and 9th.
6th, 7th, 9th, and 3rd, yeah.
Okay?
So it'll just be the one at Fifth and the one at 8th.
Yes.
Do we need a motion?
It would be ordinance number 1609-16. It would be an ordinance amending chapter 196, stop sign schedules, and it would be for President Street for first reading.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Maiser?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeArminio?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Council President Camilleri?
Yes.
Be resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Saddlebrook that an ordinance amending Chapter 196, schedules, stop signs, President Street, that passed on first reading be further considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on May 5th, 2016 at 7 o'clock p.m., where soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the Municipal Building, 93 Market Street, and that at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance according to law, with the notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Maiser?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeArminio?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Council President Camilleri?
Yes.
Passed on first reading.
Okay, now we're gonna move back on to new business. Councilman Samaluka?
Well, I'm going to jumble them together, the old and new business. The sign, the mayor had said, been pushing this for a long time, and hopefully, like I said, I tend to doubt time limits that are given. They seem in government to always take longer, so hopefully in the June meeting, we'll be happy to talk about the operational sign, because even if we get it, we have to build a base like the mayor said. But I'm going to be very happy. I think that's good for the community. It's going to put out information, and that's what everything's about. It's about transparency and information. We talked about Caldwell Avenue. Rosemont, I've been for vacating Rosemont for years, before I think I even got on the council. That's a horrific road. It's just, it's like traveling in a third world country going on that road. You bottom out, surprised no one's, broken a tooth as they're driving on that road. And we're not using it. I mean, as a town for the most part, and it was really used by just commercial people that work there or own there or lease there, and we're paying for all the repairs. So I'm happy that that eventually will happen. I've always pushed for that. The stop signs, totally in favor of the ordinance that we're going for. And I said, I think at last meeting, I don't know if I voted for that or not, and if I did, I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't vote for it, because I did get confirmation I didn't vote for it. I wasn't for it then, not for all those stop signs now. I don't think it serves I know there was good intention, I'm not saying it wasn't, but I just think it was overkill. The roads in the town, we talked the other night about that, and hopefully, soon, the next 6 months, people can actually see some of the things that we've been working on for quite a while. Miller Street, out to bid. We got Fifth Street, that's gonna be done. What's that, William Street, right? Did I say Miller? I'm sorry. William Street, and a couple of other roads. Takes a long time. I'm not happy with the progress, but it's no one's fault. It just takes a long time. Government moves sometimes at a glacier-like pace. We're trying to speed it up. This way, we can work on our infrastructure, because it's important to give people, give back. And I know roads are not in the best of shape. We had an easy winter, but I can tell you, Midland Avenue, horrible, and I know that we're gonna put in again for the county. I know we talked about this the last time. And hopefully, we will be getting Midland Avenue, all of the ramps installed. Once we get the ramps installed, county comes in and paves. We're hoping that that program will be funded again this year, so this way we can get it done, because, you know, that's becoming like a Rosemont, where it's, you hate going down the road, because it's just a horrible path. Two things, the Access for All Committee, again, I'm proud to chair that. And we had our second organizational meeting. I believe that by the next meeting, we will have a mission statement, we'll have bylaws, and we are going to attempt to have a contest. We're talking about how we're going to do that. We do have two members, Mr. Singh and Mr. Buffy from the Board of Ed, who are members of the committee, and put it out there to all township residents and mostly school kids to try and develop a logo for us, which we would have on T-shirts and posters and things of that nature. We've already accomplished one thing, and that is on our own property to make sure that we had the proper handicap signs and striping, because one of our members was affected significantly at our meeting, couldn't get into his car because we were just a little behind in getting that done. That's been fixed, so we're starting to do things. The mayor has approved my request to have something go out to the paper. We are seeking the services, and if anyone out there is certified in American Sign Language and would be interested in volunteering, we have something in mind. I don't want to put it out there because we haven't talked to some of the people that would be involved. But if anyone is certified in ASL, please contact the town. It'll have contact information on the notice that we are sending out to, I think, the Record and the Daily Voice and the Community News. So we are working on that. In regard to that, there is a forum that's countywide for all access organizations throughout the county. I think there's 20 or 30 of them at this point. It's going to be held in East Rutherford at their, I don't know if it's called the Senior Center, their Civic Center on Vreeland Avenue, and that's going to be on May 14th. It's pretty much an all-day thing. And again, I want to thank all the committee members for taking time out. I know most of them have other tasks. A lot of them are part of the government and different organizations and boards, and I know taking another night out of their busy schedule is tough, so I want to thank everyone for that. A thing I brought up the other night, and we have posted this, I think, have we posted it? Yes. Or are we posting it? It's something I got from the county, the Consumer Affairs, County Division of Consumer Affairs. I was honored again to have been appointed as the prosecutor for all of the consumer fraud cases that happen in Bergen County. So I met with them, and they're impressive people. The director is a former FBI agent, and I think the 5 investigators are all former retired police officers from Paramus and Hackensack, and I think Emerson. So I'm going to be working closely with them. We are going to put this up. A lot of people don't know about consumer fraud, and a lot of people get ripped off, and that's why they expect there to be a lot of, I'll be working pretty hard because they have upped it from no director and 2 part-time investigators to a director and 5 investigators. So we will be having we'll be doing some work on that. I want to continue what they've done in another town, and that is have something in Saddlebrook. It's probably going to be at the senior center, and it's most likely going to be on June 1st, 2016. It's going to be a forum that's being given by one of the investigators. He's done it before. I think he did it in Fort Lee. But we'll invite the surrounding communities. I want to give these posters to other towns, Elmwood Park, Lodi, Garfield, our Fair Lawn, our surrounding neighbors. And he will explain what you need in a contract and how people can avoid getting ripped off, and really informational to home improvement contractors. Some people don't know that they need to be registered. And the fine for not registering is up to $2,500 for a first offense. So it gets really pricey. So a lot of home improvement contractors, like a guy whose job is not even part-time, he paints. If he's going in there and he's taking money, he's got to have a contract, and he's got to be, he's got to be registered, and he's got to be insured. And that's the main thing, because the guy comes in and he screws something up big time, and he's not insured. Your insurance company may well say, listen, it's on you because you hired this guy. So hopefully that's going to be a lot of information that's given and helpful to both homeowners that may be doing home repairs, and also to contractors who may not know about that. I think one of the last things is something that I forgot to bring up on Tuesday, but I will try and introduce it at our next meeting. It's something called endorsing a drug amnesty policy. I did check with the chief to see if Saddlebrook does have a drug amnesty policy. We do. We follow the guidelines of Bergen County Police. The policy pretty much is what it's going to say. It's the mayor and council endorse the policy of the police department. And that the policy is individuals who advise the police department that they are addicted to opioids and need help will not be charged with a crime or prosecuted, but will instead be referred to the appropriate drug counseling and addiction recovery services. If such opioid-dependent individuals are referred to us by parents, children, spouses, guardians, or siblings, they will be treated in the same manner as if those individuals had themselves provided the advice to us. Basically, we want to get people off of drugs, and we don't need, a lot of people are fearful, and when you say opioids, it's basically prescription drugs, it's pain meds. And some people are addicted to Oxy and Vicodin and various other pain relief medications. And some of them take it for pleasure, and some of them just take it for pain, and they get addicted. And it just leads to other things. It is definitely a gateway drug. And what we can do is not so much prosecute when somebody is reaching out for help. We're not talking about people that are selling this stuff. We're not talking about people that are abusing them and doing stupid things while on them. It's somebody who's reaching out for help, that we're not going to take them and say, oh, well, you take 2 Vicodins a day, let me see, let me frisk you, and all of a sudden the person is being arrested. The same thing for parents or siblings, like we said, family members that know that their child has a problem, and they don't want to risk arrest, but we will, and the police department will treat them fairly with dignity and try and refer them to get the help that they would need. So that's something that I hope to introduce next month's meeting. And I think, oh, we talked about Ed's last time, and I don't know, Pete, do you know where we are at with across the street getting,
We have an
any kind of
agreement,
lease?
and Anthony's going to formalize it into a contract for the council.
Okay. Because we all know our beloved Eds may not be our beloved Eds for much longer. And not only is it a great place to meet people, right? It's where old friends meet, that's their logo, but it's also where we park our cars to come to council meetings. And it's not going to be there anymore, but we do have apparently an agreement that we are going to have with
Working on it.
malt beverages that we're trying to work on to help out, because a lot of people have asked me about that. What are we going to do once Ed's is not Ed's? And lastly, I just want to congratulate the mayor on and Brian White on his upcoming wedding, I think Saturday, right?
Sunday.
Sunday. So good luck and congratulations
Congratulations.
to you and to him.
Great.
That's it. Have a great month, people.
You sure?
Thank you, Andrew. Entertain a motion to open the
Motion.
meeting back to the
Second.
public for agenda items only. Roll call?
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeArminio?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Council President Camilleri?
Yes. The meeting is now back open to the public for agendas, items only. Anyone wishing to comment or speak? No? Seeing none, I'll
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeArminio?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Council President Camilleri?
Yes. Well, I think Mayor, you have any more comments, or?
No, the only thing, I just wanted to, just one quick thing, regarding the handicap accessible ramps on Midland Avenue and the funding, from 2015, the grant from the county. I have been in contact with Mark Shrieks, the, Chief of Staff for Bergen County Executive Tedesco. And he is checking into it. He believes, he has not confirmed it yet, but he does believe that there is going to be additional funding in 2016. So that's a good thing. If, however, there isn't, I believe that we're going to have to, and I have to agree that Midland Avenue is in dire need of paving. We may have to look into trying to get alternative funds ourselves or funding that project. I don't know if, Pete, do you know how much that project
No.
would have cost?
As a county road, I don't know if the town can come in there and start paving the county
No,
road.
no, I don't mean paving, I'm talking about the barrier, right, the handicap accessible.
Well, I
Because
think
that's-
we have to do it first. I
Right.
think that was the issue, is, we had whatever, I don't want to get into any finger pointing or whatever, but it took a while to determine who was actually going to finalize that aspect of it. I think the engineering is all in place for it, but we have to pay for it. We have to do it and then give it to them. I guess the fear is that we do it, pay for it, and then we're not going to get reimbursed.
Right,
And then they're
right.
not going to follow that up with paving. And what we have are ramps that by the time they end up paving become obsolete, like it's happened before.
Right, right. Well, that's what I'm checking
Yeah.
into, but, right. We had the ramps, you're absolutely right. The ramps had to be done first with the town paying, and then they would have been reimbursed. The engineering, most of it was done. I know Mr. Costa had done some of it, and I think it was kicked back by the county. There were some questions, some things that had to be done over, minor things. And then when Tom took over, there was some delay there, but then he resubmitted to the county, I believe. But then, right now, there's not any money left, so that's what we're trying to figure out. But what I'm trying to say, and hopefully there will be some money to be reimbursed back to the town. But what I'm saying is, let's just say that that fund dried up, there is no money. We can't get that road paved unless those handicap ramps are done. So I would say that we have to maybe look into doing that, because we can't they won't pave the road without those ramps.
Yeah, what we should do, or I think it's more acceptable, is to have the ramps done. I mean, I need them anyway. As chairman of this Access for All, I see, I'm seeing more and more, you know, I'm being more cognizant of things that aren't there for people to get from place to place that might need it. But I think that if we have the ramps in place, we can jump on any kind of funding that is available and not say, yeah, the funding's here, but now you gotta do the ramps. And then take 6 months to do the ramps, and oh no, the funding went to Franklin Lakes or something, you know, someplace else. So I would like to try and get that project off the ground, so at least we have phase one in place, so this way the county can come in and fund us, reimburse us for the money, and then start paving that horrific stretch of Wharton Road.
Yeah, I agree, I agree.
That's it, Mayor?
Yes.
Thank you. Todd, we'll go around the room again.
Just, I'm not sure if it was the last meeting or the meeting before. I thought we completed the ramps on Midland Ave, and that's why we were looking out to the county to pave that road.
I don't think we did it. I think we completed the plans. The thing was, again, I don't want to get into it, but there was an issue as to who was going to do the work, but I think the work was finally done and submitted. I'm not.
Plans.
The plans.
Plans.
The
Yeah,
work
but the
has not
work
been
hasn't
done.
been done.
Right.
And again, I don't know how many ramps have to be installed there. There are big, long stretches. It happens to be a road that has long stretches where there are no curbs. So there is no walkways, because it goes, you know, a lot of it is industrial area. But the parts that do have areas that need to be ramped, we haven't done them. We have not done them.
I'm good. I mean, just getting back to the Midland Avenue, I think what we have to do is we can't just keep talking from our hips. Maybe we should have our engineer just go out there and look at it, see what's done, see if we could find any paperwork or anything in progress, and then proceed with it. I'm in agreement. We should proceed with it so all our ducks are in place, so if the funding comes up, they can pave the road and we go forward with it, you know? That's all I have. Flo? Andrew, you're scaring me. Okay. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Councilwoman D'Arminio?
Yes.
Councilman Accomando?
Yes.
Council President Ken Weary?
Yes.